Today we're digging into a really powerful natural process, one that can take what we think of as trash and turn it into a seriously valuable resource. It's happening all around us, and honestly, it could completely change how we think about waste.
So let me ask you this. What if your food scraps, the grass clippings from your lawn, even sewage, what if all that could generate the electricity for your house? It sounds a little like science fiction, right? But it's not some far-off concept. The technology is already out there, and it's all based on a surprisingly simple idea from nature. And here's the answer. It's a process with a bit of a science-y name, anaerobic digestion. But don't let the name intimidate you. Anaerobic just means without oxygen. So what we're really talking about is a natural breakdown process, driven by tiny microorganisms, all happening inside a sealed, oxygen-free container. You can pretty much think of it as nature's ultimate recycling system.
Okay, so how does this alchemy, this whole trash to treasure thing, actually work? Let's take a look at what goes into the system to create these amazing results. And you'll see it's really less about magic and a whole lot more about biology. So, the ingredients or feedstocks for this process, well, they're everywhere. We're talking about all kinds of organic stuff, from farm waste like manure to the leftovers you scrape off your dinner plate. The bottom line is almost any material that can biodegrade can be put to work here.
You know, the best way to get your head around the complex science here is to imagine it's a four-course meal for a whole team of microscopic organisms. They all work together in a sequence, with each group of microbes prepping the food for the next one in line.
It all happens in 4 main stages. First up is hydrolysis, where bacteria break down all the complex stuff into simple sugars. Then, in the next 2 steps, acidogenesis and acetogenesis, other microbes turn those sugars into simple organic acids. And finally, for the grand finale, the heavy hitters show up. These are ancient microorganisms called archaea, and in a stage called methanogenesis, they consume those acids and release our final product, a gas that's super rich in methane.
Now, you know, just like with any good feast, the conditions in the kitchen have to be just right. And for our little microbial chefs, one of the most important factors is temperature. This one choice has a huge impact on how the whole process plays out.
So you've basically got 2 main approaches, and each one has a clear trade-off. The first option is kind of like slow cooking. It's slow and steady at a lower temperature, which makes it really stable and doesn't require a lot of energy. The other option is like a pressure cooker. You crank up the heat for fast and hot results. But this method is a little less stable and needs more energy to run. The choice really just comes down to what you're trying to achieve, stability or speed.
Okay, so after that whole microscopic feast is over, what are we left with? Well, this is the best part. We get 2 incredibly useful products. This is where the treasure from our trash really comes from.
The first product, and the one most people know about, is biogas. And as you can see, it's mostly methane, the exact same stuff that's in natural gas. That's what makes it such a powerful fuel. The rest of it is mostly just carbon dioxide with a few other trace gases mixed in.
And biogas is just amazingly versatile. You can burn it to create heat and electricity, you can purify it and inject it right into the natural gas grid, or you could even compress it to fuel cars and trucks. The real takeaway here is that it's a direct, renewable replacement for fossil fuels that can use the infrastructure we already have. Pretty cool, right?
But wait, the energy is only half of the story. The process also creates a second, equally valuable product from all the solid and liquid leftovers. It's a substance called digestate.
And this stuff, digestate, is fantastic. It's an incredible, nutrient-rich organic fertilizer. It lets us return vital nutrients back to the soil, which reduces our need for those energy-intensive chemical fertilizers. It improves the health of the soil, and you can even use the fibrous parts to create things like building materials. It's a win-win. So when you put all of these pieces together, turning waste into energy and turning it into fertilizer, the bigger picture starts to become really clear. This isn't just some clever trick for managing waste. It's a really powerful tool for building a more sustainable world.
The environmental case for this is just so compelling. By capturing organic waste before it goes to a landfill, we stop methane, a really potent greenhouse gas, from escaping into the atmosphere. We generate renewable energy that replaces fossil fuels. And we create organic fertilizer, which cuts down on our need for industrial chemicals. It's a genuinely closed-loop system that tackles waste, energy, and soil health all at the same time.
So anaerobic digestion really shows us that a solution to some of our biggest environmental challenges might be found in a process that's literally been happening in nature for millions of years. It really makes you stop and wonder, doesn't it? What other powerful natural systems are just out there waiting for us to finally understand them and start working with them?